Listen carefully because most people completely misunderstand what's actually happening when a partner pulls back. They assume the other person is being cold. They assume they're playing games. They assume they're losing interest. And because of that assumption, they panic. They overthink. They chase harder. Or they walk away convinced they were never enough. But what if I told you that some of the behaviors you've been trained to see as rejection are actually signs of deep emotional investment? In fact, there's one specific behavior that almost every person reads as they're done with me. But in reality, it's often the strongest indicator that they're falling hard. I'll reveal exactly what that is in a moment. But first, you need to understand why you've been reading them completely wrong. Because once you understand this, everything changes. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop chasing validation. You stop reacting emotionally to mixed signals and instead you start recognizing when you've already made an impact, when you've already won them over emotionally, even if they haven't admitted it yet. This isn't wishful thinking. This isn't romantic fantasy. This is about learning to read the real signals. Signals most people miss because they're interpreting another's behavior through their own emotional lens. And by the end of this, you'll understand the one thing they do that looks like the ultimate rejection, but is actually their subconscious way of saying, I'm scared of how much I like you. So, let's get into the truth. The truth most relationship advice never explains. The confusion no one prepares you for. Here's the situation you've probably lived through before. They take hours, sometimes days, to reply. They don't always say yes when you ask them out. When you're together, they act casual, almost too casual, and your mind fills in the gaps. They're not that into me. I'm wasting my time. Maybe I should just move on. But here's where things get interesting. And this part might sound counterintuitive at first. A person who truly doesn't care about you will never make you feel confused. They won't keep you guessing. They won't make you anxious. They won't occupy your thoughts. They'll simply disappear. No explanation, no emotional residue, no mixed signals because indifference is clean. But the person who does make you anxious, the one who keeps you awake at night wondering where you stand, something very different is happening. The key difference most people don't understand. Here's the reality most never learn. People experience attraction on different fear timelines. When a person is interested, they may move forward. They may pursue, they may lean in. But when someone becomes deeply interested, especially emotionally, their first instinct often isn't to move closer, it's to protect themselves. Why? Because emotional investment creates vulnerability. And vulnerability feels dangerous. The more they like you, the more they have to lose. The more real you become, the more power you have to hurt them. So instead of rushing toward you, their nervous system sometimes does the opposite. They create distance. They slow things down. They test your stability, not to manipulate you, but to see if you're real. And this is where most fail. They misread self-protection as rejection. They interpret emotional walls as disinterest, and they walk away at the exact moment the other person was starting to let them in. How do I know the difference? This is the question everyone asks. How do I know if they're invested or just wasting my time? That's exactly what I'm about to show you. And one of these signs is so counterintuitive, you'll probably think I'm exaggerating. But stay with me because once you see the pattern, you'll never unsee it. The real signs they're deeply invested. Before we go deeper, take a moment to consider if this is already resonating because what you're about to hear next flips most mainstream relationship advice upside down. And pay close attention to sign number 4. It sounds surprising at first, but it's rooted in behavioral psychology. Sign number 1, they remember everything you say. Not just the big things, the small, forgettable details, something you mentioned about your childhood, your favorite food, the coworker you complained about once. When a person is emotionally invested, they don't just hear you. They record you. They're building a mental map of who you are. If they bring up things you said weeks ago, that's not coincidence. That's attention fueled by emotional attachment. And no, they don't do this for everyone, only the ones who live rent-free in their mind. Sign number 2, they test you. They say they're busy when you suspect they aren't. They act indifferent about whether you're talking to other people. They throw subtle challenges your way. This is the sign that frustrates most. They think, if they like me, why are they making things harder? Here's the truth. They're not testing your interest. They're testing your emotional stability. They want to know, can you stay calm under pressure? Are you confident without reassurance? Do you see them, or are you just chasing validation? A person who doesn't care won't test you. They'll just fade out. And here's the part most miss. The intensity of their tests usually reflects how deeply they're starting to feel. Sign number 3, their friends know about you, even if they play it cool with you. If their friends know your name, your job, your story, you've already entered their inner world. People don't talk about others they don't care about. If their friends have discussed you, analyzed you, or formed opinions about you, you're already significant. And here's the twist. If their friends suddenly seem cold, distant, or guarded around you, that can actually be a good sign. It often means they've told them they like you and they're protecting their heart. Sign number 4, they get emotional around you. This is where things get nuanced. They snap over small things. They seem hurt when you don't text back quickly. There's tension when you mention other people. Most panic here. But here's the psychological truth. Emotion equals investment. Indifference is quiet. Emotion, anger, jealousy, frustration means you matter. But there's one emotional reaction people misinterpret more than any other, and it's the strongest sign they're falling for you. I'll reveal it in a moment. But first, you need to understand the next sign. Sign number 5, they open up, then close again. One night, they share something deeply personal. The next day, they're distant. They let you in, then pull away. This isn't manipulation. This is fear. They revealed something real. And now they're retreating to protect themselves. That emotional whiplash, it's a vulnerability hangover. And the bigger the pullback, the more they revealed than they intended. That fear only exists when they care. Sign number 6, they watch your life closely. They notice when you post. They notice when you don't. They ask subtle questions about where you were or who you were with. Their attention is on you, even when they pretend it's.